Hi, my name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing Leetcode problem number 350, intersection of two arrays 2. It's considered an easy problem. This is given two integer arrays nums1 and nums2, return an array of their intersection. Each element in the result must appear as many times as it is shown in both arrays, and you may return the result in any order. Okay, so this is very similar, no surprise, to intersection of two arrays, problem 349, which I've already solved and have a video for on my channel. If you haven't done that one, you might want to do that first. If you do that first, this is a lot easier. If you haven't, though, you can still work on this one. It's definitely worth looking at to learn something from. Okay, so let's look at the examples here. So we have nums1, nums2. So basically, this whole intersection description, I don't like it. It was confusing for me when I solved intersection of two arrays 349. It's basically just saying any number that appears in both arrays is what needs to be in the output. And then you need to count for the number of times it appears in both arrays, right? So since there's two 2's in both of these arrays, the output needs to be two 2's, right? Let's say there was three 2's in this one and two 2's in this, you'd still only have two 2's. Does that make sense? Okay, that's different from the previous one, in which they didn't want any duplicates. So in problem 349, they were looking for no duplicates. So that's the main difference here. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna actually grab this one, copy it. Let's move over to CodePen. Let's create our variables. Let's create our function. We'll just call it func. And for now, we'll just return nums1. We'll log to the console. Func. And now we can see what's going on the console. Okay, cool. So just like the previous problem, the way that I did this is we of course need a result variable, just an empty array for now, and we're just going to loop through. We're going to loop through the smaller array, and then we're going to look into the larger array to see if the number exists in the larger array. If it doesn't, we push it into the result array. Then we're also going to have to remove that number from nums1, right? The larger array. Because imagine if we had this, right? Well, the result would be three 2's, right? Because all we're doing is checking to see if that's inside of there, right? So we need to remove that as well. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to leave that in there because this will help us test that out. And so what we can do is we can just do two for loops. And this is just like what I did last time. Put an if check in front of each for loop saying, is nums1 larger than nums2? If it is, we're going to loop through nums2, right? And then vice versa. So let's just do the first one. So first thing we're going to say is if nums1.length is greater than nums2.length, we're going to go into a for loop. Let's say for let I equals 0 if I is, we want to go through the smaller array, so if I is less than nums2.length, or should we want to loop through the smaller array, increment I. And then we can simply check to see if it, if num1 dot includes nums2 and I, right? So this is checking to see that, if whatever number we're on in nums2, if that's included in nums1, right? If it is, then we just push it into the result. Right? So now we're pushing into the result. Why am I getting all these errors? Num1 is not defined. That's nums. Yep. And then we're going to return result here. Yeah, we see 3 2. So this is the last step that we need to do that we didn't in the previous problem, which is to remove that num. So we're going to say nums1.splice nums1.index of nums2 and I 1. Now we should just get 2 2. We do. All right, so the splice method, that's just removing an element at the index given, and then that's the first number. And then the second number is how many elements. So we're saying nums.splice, and then we get the index of this number in nums1, which is going to be, in the first instance, is going to be 1. So this number is 1, so at index 1 is going to remove 1 element, removes that 2, right? And so then you're left with 1 2 1. Next time around, it does the same thing. It's going to remove that 2, and then last time around, it's just going to 1 1 and not push this 2 in there. Okay? Now, in the last example, we just had both of these. Let's go ahead and do it. We're just going to copy this. And for this second one here, we're just going to change all the 1s to 2s and all the 2s to 1s. So basically, we're just doing the opposite, right? So this is if nums2 is longer than nums1. So then everything needs to be flipped. So this is going to be 2. This is going to be 2. And this is going to be 1. Cool. Now, the issue with this, though, is what's going to happen now is because we're splicing, we're changing the length of the array. In some of these test cases, what could happen is you could have an instance where we've removed so many elements from the larger array that now nums2 is going to be greater than nums1, and then we're going to go into both if statements, right? And then, so it's going to run all this code and then run all this code. We don't want that. We just want, initially we want if nums1 is longer than nums2, we want this set of code and then return a result. If the opposite is true, we want this set of code and then return a result. So what we can do to fix that is just go ahead and put return result inside the if statement. And the last thing we need to do, we need to account for a situation where both of the lengths are the same. Okay? And you can put that in either one, really, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's grab all this, back over here, paste it in. And then we're going to run it. Submit it. And there you go. All right, hopefully you found this video helpful and enjoyable. If you did, please like it. It will help my channel grow. If you'd like to see more like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. And we will see you again real soon.